I have been dating my boyfriend Ryan for almost 2 years. He's funny, confident, outgoing, the kind of guy who lights up every room he walks into. Everyone likes him. My parents, my friends, even random strangers. And I did too. Until last month. We met at work back when I was new at the company and still figuring everything out. He was one of the senior sales guys, always the first to offer help or crack a joke. Our chemistry was instant. That effortless kind where everything just feels right. He was attentive, affectionate, always texting me good morning. For 2 years he was the person I trusted most. That's why what happened still doesn't feel real. It started small, tiny cracks I ignored because I didn't want to seem paranoid. He started being busy more often, leaving his phone face down, getting secretive about notifications. I asked him about it once and he laughed it off. Babe, it's just my group chat. You wouldn't even want to see it. It's 90% memes and nonsense. I let it go. Because I wanted to believe him. Then came the night everything changed. We were watching a movie at his apartment. He got up to take a shower and left his phone on the couch. It buzzed once. Then twice. Then 3 times in a row. Normally I wouldn't snoop. I hate that feeling. But my stomach dropped when I saw the name on the screen, the Wolfpack wolf face. And the message preview said, "Tell Ryan to bring the redhead again, she was fire. I froze. Redhead? I'm not a redhead. I stared at the phone, my heart pounding so hard I thought I'd be sick. I told myself not to look, that if I had to snoop to find trust, something was already broken. But my gut was screaming. So I opened it. The messages blurred together at first. There were 6 guys in the chat. Ryan, his 3 closest friends from college, and 2 coworkers I'd met once or twice. Most of it really was memes and dumb jokes. But then I started scrolling. And there was photos, comments, screenshots, jokes that weren't jokes. Someone, I think his friend Jake, had posted a photo of a girl from behind at a bar. Short dress, red hair. Captioned, "Ryan's new friend from Thursday, smirking face." Then another replied, "He moves fast. Didn't he say he was still with the brunette?" And Ryan, my boyfriend, replied with, "It's complicated. We're on a break kinda." We were not on a break. Another friend added, "Man, that redhead looked like trouble." And Ryan sent back a smirking emoji. The conversation went on for weeks. I scrolled up, realizing this chat wasn't new. It had been going for months, full of locker room talk, crude jokes, screenshots of girls' Instagram stories, and ratings. Then I saw something that made my vision go blurry. It was a photo I'd sent him. One I sent privately, a little flirty but nothing explicit. Just me in a dress, smiling, saying I missed him. He'd posted it in the group with the caption, "She's being clingy again, face with yours avoid." And someone replied, "At least she's hot." I don't think I've ever felt humiliation like that before. I put the phone down, walked to the bathroom door and knocked once. "Ryan." He called back, "Yeah." I said, "You might want to check your group chat." There was a pause. Then the water shut off. He came out in a towel, confused, until he saw the phone in my hand. His face went completely blank. "What did you read?" he asked, voice low. "Everything," I said. For a long moment we just stood there. Then he tried to spin it. "Babe, it's just jokes. That's how guys talk." I laughed. A hollow, angry laugh that didn't sound like me. "You posted my photo in your stupid group chat." He said, "It wasn't anything bad." I told him it didn't matter, that I never gave him permission to share anything. That it wasn't about bad or not bad, it was about respect. He tried to reach for me. "You're overreacting." That word, overreacting, flipped a switch. I grabbed my bag and told him, "We're done." He followed me to the door, saying I was making a scene, that I didn't understand how guys talk, that he never cheated. I told him, "Maybe not with your body but definitely with your integrity." Then I walked out. The next day I woke up to a dozen missed calls and texts. "Please don't end it like this. It was just jokes. You know I love you. They made me post that picture." And finally, "I can't lose you over something so stupid." I didn't reply. But the thing about silence is that it doesn't bring peace. It just gives you more room to think. I couldn't stop wondering who the redhead was. Whether on a break meant what I feared it did. So, like an idiot, I opened Instagram. And there she was. A girl named Chloe, mutual friends with one of his coworkers, recently tagged in photos at the same bar I'd seen in their group chat. Red hair, same outfit. Caption, "Wild Thursday face blowing is." And there, in the background of one photo, was Ryan. My stomach twisted. I realized that the night he said he was out with the guys, he'd actually been out with her. I spent the next few days in a haze, angry, embarrassed, heartbroken. I wanted to confront him again, but I also wanted him to stew in silence. That's when I got a message request from a familiar name, Chloe. She wrote, "Hey, you don't know me, but I think we should talk about Ryan." When I saw Chloe's message, my first instinct was to ignore it. I didn't want to give her the satisfaction, or maybe I just didn't want to hear something that would make it all worse. But after staring at her name for 10 minutes, I gave in and opened it. "Hey, you don't know me, but I think we should talk about Ryan." I replied, "You mean my boyfriend?" She took a moment, then said, "Yeah. Or I guess your ex." That one word, ex, stung more than I expected. We exchanged numbers and talked on the phone that night. Her voice was calm, like someone who had already gone through the worst of it. She told me she'd met Ryan a few months ago through his coworker. He'd said he was single and just getting over a toxic relationship. I almost laughed. Toxic relationship? He met me. They'd hung out a few times, nothing too serious at first. Then, about a month ago, they started sleeping together. I stayed quiet, listening, heart hammering. Chloe said she noticed he was cagey about certain things, like not wanting her to post photos of them, or flinching when she mentioned our city's downtown spots. She found it weird, but she believed him when he said he just wanted privacy after his last breakup. Then she found my Instagram. She saw photos of us, still up, still recent, with captions like, 2 years strong red heart. That's when she realized he'd been lying to both of us. She confronted him and he told her some half-story about us being basically over, that I was clinging to the past. But something about his tone didn't sit right, so she decided to reach out to me. By the time we finished talking, we were both quiet for a while. Finally, she said, "You don't deserve this." Neither of us did. That night, I sat staring at my phone, scrolling through old messages from him. All the good mornings, the I love yous, the inside jokes. They all felt fake now. I realized I wasn't even sad about losing him. I was sad about losing the illusion of who I thought he was. The next morning, I decided I was done feeling helpless. If he wanted to make a joke out of me in that group chat, fine. I'd make sure the laughter stopped. I called Chloe again and asked if she still had screenshots. Anything that proved what he said to her while we were together. She did. She sent me everything. Messages where he said, "She's been annoying lately, but I'll end it soon. Chloe's way more chill. Can't believe I ever thought about marrying the other one." My stomach turned. I didn't even know he'd been thinking about marriage, but apparently it was something he'd already turned into a joke for his friends. So I came up with a plan, not to humiliate him but to end this on my terms. I called him. My voice was calm, almost friendly. "Hey, can we meet? I just want to talk things out in person." He sounded relieved. "Yeah, of course. I've been wanting to fix this." We met at a cafe near his office. He walked in wearing that same cocky smile that used to make me melt. Now it just made me angry. He started with, "I'm glad you reached out. I've been thinking a lot and..." I cut him off. "Before you start, I want to show you something." I placed my phone on the table and hit play. I'd recorded a screen capture of his group chat. Every disgusting message, every photo, every joke. Then I scrolled through his text with Chloe. The lies, the fake sympathy, the manipulation. His face went pale. When it ended, I looked him dead in the eye and said, "You don't get to call it just jokes anymore." He opened his mouth but nothing came out. Then he tried, "You went through my phone and my messages? That's crazy, do you even hear yourself?" I said, "Yeah, I hear myself loud and clear. I just wish you'd listened to me the first time I told you to stop disrespecting me." He stammered, "It was a mistake, okay? I didn't mean to hurt you." I laughed. "You didn't mean to get caught." He looked down, defeated. Then he said something that sealed it. "You're really gonna ruin my reputation over this?" That's when I realized he still didn't understand. I said, "No, Ryan. You ruined it yourself. I'm just giving people the context." Then I stood up, left some cash for my drink and walked out. That same night, I sent screenshots of the group chat to the HR manager at work. Not to get revenge, but because several of the messages involved coworkers and violated company policy. I didn't even have to say much. Just attached the images and wrote, "Thought you should see what your senior sales team finds funny." 2 days later, I heard he was suspended pending investigation. Apparently a few others in the chat were too. I didn't feel guilty, just relieved. A week later he showed up at my apartment begging to talk. I didn't open the door. He texted me afterward. "You ruined my life." I replied, "I didn't ruin it. I exposed it." And that was the last time we ever spoke. Chloe and I stayed in touch for a bit after. It was strange, bonding with someone who should have been my enemy. But in a way she helped me heal faster. We both got played and instead of fighting each other we decided to move on. It's been 3 months since everything happened. I moved to a new apartment, started focusing on myself again. I even got promoted at work. Ironic considering Ryan's mess almost got him fired. Sometimes I still get angry when I think about it. How easily he lied, how casual he was about turning me into a joke among his friends. But mostly I just feel free. I used to think closure came from the person who hurt you finally saying, "I'm sorry." Now I know it comes from realizing you don't need that apology anymore. Ryan can keep pretending he's the victim. His friends can keep making excuses. But I sleep just fine knowing I didn't let someone else define my worth. And as for that group chat, let's just say it doesn't exist anymore.